It is primary day for Republicans in Idaho's 1st congressional district. Number one story, things were going oh so well for GOP establishment candidate Vaughn Ward. That is, until he got caught lifting quotes from other lawmakers' websites, and he admitted to not knowing Puerto Rico was part of the U.S., and they found that video of Mr. Ward plagiarizing a really famous speech. First given at the 2004 Democratic National Convention by this Barack Obama guy. Vaughn Ward, once leading by double digits, taking on Idaho state legislator and local Tea Party favorite Raul Labrador. The winner would face freshman Congressman Walt Minnick, the only Democrat to be endorsed by the National Tea Party Express last November. In the campaign's final hours, the Ward camp sending an email to supporters listing Mr. Ward's endorsements, including a quote from Idaho's Senator Mike Crapo, except Mr. Crapo did not endorse Mr. Ward and has now asked him to correct the email's, quote, inaccurate impression. That incident, just the latest in a series. Earlier in the month, it was discovered that half of Mr. Ward's so-called position statements on his website were actually taken directly from the websites of other candidates and lawmakers, ranging from Congressman Paul Ryan of Wisconsin to a Democrat, Senator Ben Nelson of Nebraska. And as we reported on this news hour previously, in a debate with Mr. Labrador, Mr. Ward revealing he believes the U.S. territory, Puerto Rico, is a separate country. Ward spokesman Mike Tracy then telling Talking Points Memo DC he clearly knows Puerto Rico is an American territory. He served in Guantanamo for a while. It was pointed out to Mr. Tracy that Guantanamo is in fact located in Cuba. Mr. Tracy then responded, "I'm just saying he knows where and what Puerto Rico is." And then there's this video put together by Tea Party activist and Idaho State Senate candidate Lucas Bombach. Mr. Bombach matching a Ward speech from January to a speech given by Senator Obama at the Democratic Convention in 2004. Vaughn's spokesman again dismissing the similarities. If anyone thinks he's anything like Obama, they're dead wrong. So at the risk of being dead wrong, here's a few more lines that Mr. Ward ripped off from Mr. Obama that were not included in the Tea Party video.
In the end, that is God's greatest gift to us, the bedrock of this nation.
In the end, that is God's greatest gift to us. It is the bedrock in our nation.
A belief in things not seen.
A belief in the American dream.
A belief that there are better days ahead.
A belief that if we strive for excellence.
I believe that we can give our middle class relief and provide working families with a road to opportunity.
I will fight to give our middle class relief and provide families with a road to opportunity.
As we stand on the crossroads of history.
As we stand on the crossroads of history.
We can make the right choices and meet the challenges that face us.
I know we can make the right choices and meet the challenges that lay before us.
If you feel the same urgency that I do, if you feel the same passion that I do.
If you feel the same urgency and the same passion that I do.
Then I have no doubt.
Then I have no doubt.
The people will rise up in November.
That our voices will be heard in November.
And this country will reclaim its promise.
Our country will reclaim its promise.
And out of this long political darkness.
And out of this darkness.
A brighter day will come.
A better day is on the horizon.
Joining me now, MSNBC political analyst, the author of Renegade, The Making of a President, Richard Wolff. His book, of course, was not based on the book Renegade, The Baking of a President by Richard Pulf. Richard, good evening.
Good evening, Keith.
All right, plagiarizing is nothing new in politics in this country or anywhere. But if you're campaigning against Obama policies, why are you ripping off Barack Obama? And when you're kicking off your campaign, no less, how does this guy get past that?
That's a great question. You know, they do say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and in this case, it's just the sincerest form of stupidity. I mean, in Joe Biden's case, when he went after the words of a British politician, Neil Kinnock, at least it was someone on the same side of the political spectrum. To be fair to Vaughn Ward, this is the same Idaho party, a Republican party, and the same district that first gave us Larry Craig, who was himself a very naughty boy and had an unfeasibly large stance. So, you know, in terms of the plagiarism, in terms of the conduct, not the worst thing he's done. As an Iraq war veteran, he is even alleged to have plagiarized the positions on Iraq, on the war in Iraq, from other candidates. So maybe they can get beyond Obama if they can get beyond Iraq.
My understanding, though, is that Larry Craig plagiarized the stance from George Rakers, but that's another story. The list, though, it's just not this. This is entertainment, but there's a whole series. Something's happened in this district. Apparently, Mr. Ward worked as the director for the McCain-Palin campaign in Nevada, but did not vote in the election that year. He's railed against federal spending in this campaign cycle, but his wife works for Fannie Mae, which has been the recipient of tens of billions of bailout dollars. How did this man get into this position in the first place, where he's the mainstream candidate?
Picky, Keith. Look, here is the race that he's running against. There is a guy, one of the other Republican candidates, whose slogan, apparently, according to his website, is "Nuclear ass, take their gas." So Vaughn Ward is actually the more respectable end of the spectrum in this field. And you've got to say that, look, the people looked at his position in Nevada for the McCain campaign, but they obviously overlooked the fact that Nevada was one of the few states that Bush took handsomely in 2000, 2004, and apparently Mr. Vaughn Ward lost for John McCain in 2008.
Last point. One of my theories is, with 538 seats, this country rarely finds 1,076 worthy candidates. Suddenly you got the Tea Party. We're asking the nation to produce 1,614 worthy candidates. Does Mr. Ward lend credence to my theory that we have a candidate gap in this country?
Keith, I think if you asked your Twitter followers to name the correct status of Puerto Rico, we could find 1,600 of them. It's a country of 300 million people. Even the Idaho Republican Party can do better than this.
I don't know. I think we're just losing good people to, management at McDonald's or something. I just don't. Never mind. MSNBC's Richard Wolff, the author of Renegade, which he did not crib from, say, the autobiography of Vanilla Ice. Great. Thanks, Richard.
Thank you, Keith.